Hello guys, welcome back to Lady Listens, and today I'm with a very special guest in the house. Everyone welcome Rubato Elegy. How are y'all?
Oh, we're so good. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank y'all for being here. First of all, I want to peep the fits, y'all. Tell me we aren't bust downs and fits. Like, okay, everyone, we walked in that coffee shop, by the way, we're in Too Sweet, and everyone was like, love your outfits, love your outfits, love y'all. I was like, oh no, it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time today. But introduce yourself for the people who don't know out there. Who y'all are?
Yeah, my name is Priscilla.
I'm Anne Renee.
And we're Rubato Elegy. Yeah, we are a neoclassical, neo-soul duo. She's on the piano, I'm on the vocals. That's just kind of her vibe. If you are into like Leon La Havas or Debussy, that's us.
Very, very sick. The first time I met y'all, well, introduced to you, was at that Houston Music Classical Mixer thing. And I was literally, like, they started playing the songs, and I was like, who is this? Do you know who this is? Like, because I was like, I feel like it's so rare to find. I don't know. Or it's like, I like this resurgence of classical music or like the jazz music. I feel like it's being, like Leydi has a lot to do with it. I feel like Samara Joy is also big, right? So it's like, I feel like these, like the live instrumentation is back. And as a person who was in choir from middle school to high school, it is such a pleasure to me to hear this, especially coming out from young women. So talk to me a little bit about your individual journeys to finding music, how music found you, basically, individually.
Ooh, okay, so for me,
Yeah.
I was a classical pianist.
Okay.
I started having private lessons when I was probably around 6.
Okay.
And I used to compete in classical music from elementary school all the way through high school. And so as far as like how music generally started, that I feel like is a start. I feel like I had another start or another appreciation for music when my dad really got me into musicals. The Sound of Music, a catalyst. And I love the theater. I love that so much. I love that expression of art. Another start, I think, is being a kid and enjoying like Disney media. So the Cheetah Girls. I loved me some Cheetah Girls. I was so convinced I'm going to be a pop star. I'm going to start I started writing music the moment I was able to comprehend English.
Wow.
So like writing my little cheesy music and getting my friends in on writing choreography and then like being all right, mom, dad, sit down.
Now, look at this thing
Look
that
at
I
this.
just came up
Oh
with.
my goodness, yes. Pulling the cousins in and like
Yeah.
doing our performance, having our little sets. I feel like I've always just kind of carried all of that with me.
Are your parents also musically inclined, or is it just something that like...
So my mom used to also be in a choir when she
Okay.
was younger, and she also used to sing on the radio back in her days in Nigeria. And like my dad is just an enthusiastic music lover. He used to work in record stores when he was a lot younger too, and he just used to collect instruments too like that. So I think that's just something that has been deeply ingrained in me. One of his, because I'm the oldest child, their first child experiment, so to speak, they used to play classical music into my mom's stomach when I was being formed.
Yeah.
That was from the roots.
From the roots,
Yeah.
from the embryo roots. How about you?
So you'll see that Priscilla and I had a very similar upbringing.
Okay.
I was also classically trained on the piano, and that's actually how we initially became friends. When we found out in college that we both have immigrant parents and we love classical piano, specifically like impressionist and romantic classical pieces. We got along on that right away. So yeah, I started piano since I was 7, been doing competitive piano for about 15 years. And then I fell in love with jazz in college. Asked her to start singing with me, and we started doing a lot of covers. But now we do original music. Music also runs in my family as well. My grandmother is also in the Philippines. She's a classical performance pianist, and my great aunt was the first Filipino woman in Juilliard.
Oh, wow. So we got history in the lineage. Yes.
So yeah, when we started a band, it was just very, very simple for us to get to find a groove, find serendipity, I guess. It was very serendipitous for us. And yeah.
Very nice. You talked a little bit how y'all came together. What was something like? Was there a moment or a day or something that both of y'all confirmed, like, oh yeah, this is the person for me in terms of music wise? Like, this is, I'm down for this duo thing. Like,
I can answer that.
yeah.
I actually met Priscilla on my first day of college,
Okay.
freshman year. Go UH, go Cougs.
Go Cougs. Okay.
And as you guys know, if you guys been to UH, there is a public piano in the student center, and she was on the piano when I walked in. She was singing, playing piano, and I was just enamored by her. Absolutely enamored by her, and I was there for maybe 3-4 hours just listening to her play, and then I came up to her and I said, I love your music, I love your singing, I love your vibe, let's be friends. The next day she saw me, and she asked me to play the piano. I did, and she immediately just pulled me into her huge friend group of musicians, and then we started playing together.
Very nice. Damn, it's just, I love music so much because I always say it's such a universal language. Like, you don't have to speak words, you don't have to speak different languages. It's just emotion that I feel like music brings out and connects with people, right? So, oh, that is so beautiful. Why are y'all so like whimsy and like, it's like, we just saw each other at UA. Like,
It's love at first
it's
sight,
love
and
at
it's literally music.
That was super cool. Well, talk to me, musical inspos, because I know you mentioned a couple ones. Music wise, I know family has a lot to do, but talk to me now. I feel like we say neo, right? We're talking about new. So what are some of your things you've been listening to recently or things you're inspired by? It doesn't even have to be like music wise, like this kind of genre, but like what are some cool things artists are doing and you're like, oh, that's kind of dope. I wish I could do it kind of my way. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. I will say we were just listening to Ray's new album in the car. I have a lot of like theatrical musical roots in terms of like just things that inspire me. And her blend of jazz and also musical theater type energy really, really tugs at my strings. And I think that kind of comes out in the way that I write.
I've been listening to a lot of Geese and Fiona Apple.
Okay.
A lot of their sound you'll kind of find sprinkled a little bit throughout our album. It's very piano heavy, and it's very. It uses a lot of traditional instruments. So it's like just a piano, some drums, and a singer.
Yeah, super, super dope. I saw your mini Tiny Desk version of that thing, and it was super, super sick. Because I think it was one thing, hearing the track on live, but I don't feel like I feel like you can never capture what live music is, right?
Yeah.
In a recording. Like, it is only something you could see and feel in person. So for y'all, I feel like, especially when we're talking about classical, right? You being a pianist and you being a singer, like that is you have to see it live kind of artist. And y'all, I feel like within the glimpse I've seen from Tiny Desk, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. I haven't seen y'all in person perform yet, which I hope so soon. But super, super sick. I just want to say, like, I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, who is this? Because it's like, it's good to hear that Houston, yeah, what is that melody? Because it's super cool how Houston is such a big city, so many diverse genres. I know you're from Dallas, but still, like, basing or you even like showing your music here in Houston is so different in terms of like the mix of R&B and hip hop that I feel like I'm used to. Yeah. I feel like it cuts through very well in such a good way. And y'all recently released your debut album. What a word. Debut album, Terraform, during April. How do you feel now that it's out? Almost maybe like a month out. So how do you feel that it's out in the world and people are listening to it?
Oh my goodness. More than anything, I'm just really proud that we finished a project. I think the way we try to treat this album was, here's a narrative that we would like to establish, and here's how we'd like to share it, and what's the best way we can tell this story and like resonate with people. It was a little difficult because I do live in the North Dallas area and she lives here in Houston. And so that's like 300-ish miles apart, right? And so I, more than anything, seeing the seeing the body of work that has resulted in our endless Friday night calls and my occasional visits here every few months just to record and get things done. A chance to also explore new things, because for her, this was her first time producing anything, really. Her having to learn the software and figuring out how to put things together. I'm so proud that we were able to get something done, and it's a good product that we can be proud of. And even at our album party, the way people were able to come up and be like, this lyric resonated with me, this really stuck with me, and that makes me so happy, because I know that we're almost like building a little community of our own.
Very much, yeah. What about you? How do you feel an album out? Especially, I feel like I've seen you in a lot of Houston events, like promoting it and, you know, pushing, make sure the name is out there. How do you feel a whole month out?
I just feel really proud and really happy about the community that we fostered. I'm glad that it's over.
This is just the beginning, Renee. What are you talking about? This is just the beginning. You're just getting started.
This album has been in the works for over a year.
Okay.
And so every Friday night we would call and we would just work remotely with each other. And it has been some of the most fun I've ever had, one of the most fulfilling projects I've ever worked on. And it is really such a joy to see how many people love it, how many people are listening to it, how they are resonating with it in their own unique way. And just having that album party to kick it off was just such a beautiful moment for both of us, because we invited people that we've known for maybe 8 years, and then people that we've known for only a month. And they all just pulled up, and just seeing that we had that album party and we are uplifting voices that are from, let's say, women of color, LGBTQ community, and having that in those spaces that is safe for all different representation was very important to us, and we're very joyed that we got to cultivate that.
Yeah. I think y'all should be very, very proud of the work you did. It's a great album. And talking about resonation, I wanted to highlight a couple songs that were some of my favorite on the album, and y'all could give me kind of a peek behind of whether the process or something, that a little sprinkle of anecdotes between the songs. I first want to talk about the album cover, which is so beautiful. I'm a big fan of album covers, and I think this blue and these flowers, it's so nice. It feels very much like the songs, which is a big accomplishment, because I feel like album covers is what people first see, right, when they're streaming, or even when we talk about physical media, like what is the first thing you kind of pick up? So I want a big credit on the album cover. Do you want to talk a little bit about the artist, or what kind of was the inspiration behind the album cover?
Big shout out to Kim Miranda. I love her so much. The first time I met her was actually at like this festival that was being held at the UH campus.
Okay.
I'd just gotten back from a meet or something, and I was like, I have a free afternoon, I'm gonna meander.
Yeah.
And I met Kim at her booth, and we just yapped. Like, we yapped for at least an hour. I bought some artwork from her, and I was like, you're cool, I like you, and I'm bringing my friend back the next day. This is friend. Day 2 of the festival, I brought her along, and we yapped once again, bought more artwork, and had exchanged socials, and like years later, we're still talking, right? We're trying to figure out, as we're just releasing even singles, we're like, okay, who do we want? We kind of want to bring in or collaborate with somebody, make this like in the spirit of community, bring in more collaboration with people that we care about and that have values that we share. And Kim was probably the first person, I think, that we were almost like mind meld, 3, 2, 1, Kim.
Yeah.
It was her. She came up with sketches for all of our single covers, and it all like accumulated to our album cover. And shot those over to Kim, and she knocked it out of the park. Yeah, every single time.
I want to say shout out Kim, because again, I'm a big fan of just like the good color schemes.
Oh my goodness.
It was done very, 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 very well. So
at Isaiah Grams, on Instagram.
Okay.
Check out Blue Moth Co. Also, another one of her profiles. She's awesome.
Very nice. So one of my favorite tracks on it is actually More Than Me, which is probably your intro track, right?
Yeah.
More Than Me. That was your single as well, right?
Yes.
Right. So More Than Me, to me, it was like, okay, let me see what I wrote down. I was like, to me, because you were talking about everyone has some personal anecdotes. To me, it was like, you know, in this life, I feel like as a creative, like, what can I do? Like the what ifs, right? You mentioned the what if I run onto nothing wondering to be, right? So I was like, you know, what if like I just keep going and become something that like it's simple, like more than me, something that just keeps growing and growing. So I was like, to me, I was like, damn, that is, you done it in such a way, and it feels so like open space as well to kind of let that question resonate with the listener. I feel like, you know, what if you can do that, right? What if you can become that? I feel like in a world where creativeness sometimes is like either harder to achieve, or especially in Houston, like it is a different thing, you know, that song, I was like, for it to be your intro as well, what a great start as well. So talk to me about More Than Me. And that song, when you wrote it, when you produced it, you know.
So that was the first song that we wrote on the album.
Okay.
We wrote every song chronologically.
Okay.
And we
Mostly.
were mostly mostly.
Yeah.
We both graduated college around the same time, and trying to find a job in this job market and in this economy has been a challenge, to put it very lightly. And especially not just a job, but a fulfilling job that also tickles all of our creative desires. So we were both in jobs that didn't fulfill us creatively, and we were kind of in this funk of like, dang it, I feel most like myself, and I love myself most when I'm on stage and when I'm working with her. But I also understand, coming from immigrant parents, you understand the stability and the of having a 9 to 5 job. And so this song was just kind of a, I guess a,
What if we could do more?
yeah, it's a fantasy of what if we could do more. It's kind of shrouded in this sort of, I guess, mystery, ambiguousness of it all. I try to kind of capture the, I would say, the conflict in your head at the end of the piano. So we have that piano solo at the end that kind of showcases kind of that inner turmoil of like, okay, I'm fine. I think I'm fine with this job. No, I really want more. I really want to be more than myself.
And I was going to mention that as well. Super good that I like how you both blend very well in terms of music, right? But I like how you give each other space to shine, whether it be this, you know, like you said, this turmoil of this piano just kind of going, like feeling that out. And then whether it be like this big old note that you hold, whether it be the harmonies that you kind of tense up and build, right? Y'all do it so well. Like you said, at the end of More Than Me, it's like you're just going. It kind of feels like, it makes you feel like kind of tense, right? I was like, what can I do more, you know? Yeah. So shout out to that. I also want to talk about your lyrics. I feel like a lot of the lyrics have to do with like the stars and nature and this, like, you know, nature. Just like you mentioned, the stars, the moon, nature, and outside a lot. I think it's so beautiful how even thousands of years pass and artists are still continue to be inspired by the outside, right? Talk to me about if you have a love for the intergalactic, for the stars, and if what is kind of the things that y'all do to get out of that slump. Sometimes I feel like creatively, is it going outside? Is it doing this? Like, talk to me about that side.
So as far as like the inspiration for, I guess, the imagery that we wanted to encapsulate, I'll say the first song that was started on was actually The Sky and the Burrow. I was in a little bit of a rut post-college, and I just felt like, man, like nothing is going my way. And I really do miss the relationship that I had with music. We mentioned like the Red Room, the community that we would have just doing music. I missed having that, and especially being so far away, because on top of that, North Dallas,
Yeah.
right? All of my friends are over here for the most part. I miss that. And I think The Sky and the Borough, at least the beginning drafts of that, were very much like, I almost saw myself as a barn owl who traditionally barn owls live in burrows, but I wanted to be above the trees and in the stars. Barn owls don't really travel that far. They are probably notoriously the slowest flyer. They fly 2 miles per hour. Other birds can fly 45 miles an hour, right? And I wanted to go beyond just the trees and beyond the shrubbery, beyond my hometown, see the world and just do things that are bigger than just being in my burrow. And so being able to just touch the stars and the cosmos and seeing the sky, yes, that was a theme that we kind of throughout the album wanted to put in. And it makes me laugh because being able to, I guess, be that nerd who really was passionate about like that specific owl, who resonated with that owl, and being able to kind of pull that imagery into it. I'm really glad that we were able to almost ground ourselves in that idea. Something that I do enjoy in terms of like, or something that I like to do when I want to clear my mind is just being outside and being still. When your mind is loud, go outside where it's still and you just kind of take that in. Look at the clouds, look at the stars.
I think it's also worth mentioning that we are both really into mythology, and we're really moved by Icarus's tale.
Okay.
Icarus flying too close to the sun and too close to the sky.
Yes.
And so we kind of played on that of like, okay, an owl just flying too close to the sky, and you kind of feel that with Serendipity, where we're flying around the moon, we are up there, we are having the best time of our lives, and then you go into Canopy, which is back to the forest, you're starting to feel like, oh goodness, I'm starting to fall. And then Sky in the Burrow is literally from going from the sky back down to the burrow. Thank
Sorry,
you.
you see this wind, y'all?
Thank you, Queen.
Never let your crown pop me.
Thank you. I love you. And so we drew a lot of inspiration from nature, a lot of inspiration from mythology, and we just wanted to be little nerds about it. So,
Yeah, I feel like it definitely translated as a listener and as a fan of your music. It definitely translated to me. This album felt very like the start of you kind of like moving your wings out. Like, what can I do? What, like, can I flap this way? Can I flap this way? And kind of just like the start of it all, which I'm super excited for y'all to continue grow as musicians, whether it be individually, right? And then forming that together, like what more can we do? Like, can we try this way? Can we do this way? So I'm excited for that. Your debut album is finally out. What is next for y'all? What do you think? What are y'all gonna achieve next?
Well, I think for at least this year and the rest of this year and into next year, we're really wanting to be at more music festivals,
Okay.
Meet more people, grow our community, get to know more people, and make those connections that hopefully we can collaborate on even bigger projects in the future.
Very nice. How about for you?
So on top of also being on doing a lot of performances at festivals, we're also planning to kind of work on our own projects, actually, because she has her own album that she's working on.
Yeah.
I have my own stuff that I'm working on, and of course we're still going to collaborate on them because we're soulmates.
Yeah.
Our lives are forever intertwined, no matter what. So we'll still be working with each other, but we are thinking to perform as a band, but then also create as solo artists as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. How do you think that'll be different? Like, is that something you've done before, release music as solo artist, or is it gonna be your first time kind of going through that?
It'll definitely be our first time.
Yeah.
One thing I'm grateful for is that we do work so well together that if I need help with something, I'm going to be like, hey,
Yeah.
please help. And if she has any questions or needs to like brainstorm with anything, she can absolutely throw them my way, and I'll just bounce some ideas off.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, thank y'all so much, ladies, for joining me. It was such a great picking your brains in terms of this album, because I feel like as musicians, right, as artists, I don't get to speak to a lot of artists who are like, classic trained pianists, and I feel like it's a whole different genre I'm talking to, and it's a whole different mind, right? So I'm super happy that we got to talk and explore your brain in terms of this album. I'm super excited for what more y'all accomplish. I know you're gonna do great things. I'm excited to see you live. Hopefully one day. I want to see that. Again, as a music nerd, who used to be in choir, I love good harmonies. I love the piano. How I used to ring in competitions in the churches, that wah 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 wah. Like I love that. So I'm excited to see how y'all are able to present this live. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having us. You are such a fantastic host.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Any way we could follow you on social media, whether it be independently or together?
Ooh, you can find us at Rubato Elegy on Instagram, YouTube. We're on all listening platforms. As far as personal, Priscilla _ Adejoken, Adejokun.
And then PK Bing Bong, PK dot Bing Bong.
For you.
For me.
Well, thank y'all so much, and thank y'all for listening. See y'all soon. Bye.